Welcome. Today we're here at Ollia Macaron, and I'm here with Lindsay, one of the owners. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you for coming by.
This place is just so beautiful. I mean, you walk in and I feel like I'm in a different country. You totally created Paris.
That's what we wanted to create. We wanted to create a place in Calgary that when you came in, you were taken back. Maybe you have traveled to Paris or France, lucky you, and you've experienced that where you walk into a bakery or into a specialty shop and you just hit this, I call it the ooh moment, where your shoulders go up and you're like, ooh, what is this place?
Yes, it is true. So what inspired you to pick Calgary to open up this amazing little piece of Paris, I guess you could call it?
Sure, well, my husband is from France and I was actually born in Alberta, but I moved away years and years and years ago. And between the two of us, we lived all over the world, different countries, different continents. And when we decided to come up with a boutique macaron and tea shop, we started looking at Canada as a base to kind of put down some roots, and we started on the West Coast. And Victoria, Vancouver are lovely, but you've kind of already got a little bit of a niche market there going on, and we just kind of kept going east. And when we got to Calgary, we stopped and we visited it, and we just saw this really neat vibe of people, of entrepreneurs, of young business owners, and really this, I call it kind of like the wild, wild west for businesses. You want to do something, do it, and do it well, and Calgary just is a great market to embrace it.
I completely agree, and I think you guys have really established your niche in being different, which brings me to my next question, because I didn't know this before. I didn't know there was a difference between a macaroon and a macaron, which there's a huge difference between the pronouncing and what they both are. So why don't you explain what the difference is and which one you guys focus on?
Sure, so we'll start with the one we don't do, which is the macaroon. And the macaroon is a coconut-based cookie. So often coconut and then almost a meringue, so it's a fluffy coconut cookie. Sometimes it's just called a haystack as well, and it's minus the meringue, and it's just a coconut rolled in chocolate. And then the macaron is the French version, and it's actually an almond meringue cookie. So the shell is made with almond flour, egg white, and sugar. And then you get this nice fluffy cookie with a crunchy top. And then really the filling is where the flavor comes from. So you have ganaches and buttercreams and curds and all of these.
Sorts of different flavors.
Whatever you want to do.
And so the base of is almond flour you're talking about, so it's completely gluten-free. Which is fantastic. Is that kind of, I guess, is the authentic way to make a macaron, like a real French, is to use the almond flour?
Yep, it is. Awesome. Yeah, it's almond flour. There are people who are out there experimenting with quinoa flour.
Oh, interesting.
Or pistachio flour, but the quinoa I think would be a neat one to go down because then you're totally nut-free as well.
Yes, exactly. And so you guys have a variety of different flavors, and you can accommodate allergies. So I know you do have some dairy-free options that you have as well. What do you do to take out the dairy, and what do you add in for that?
Sure, so we always try to have at least 1 or 2 dairy-free options. A lot of them are ganache based, so we do have the creams. But so we've gotten creative with coconut cream. So if we have a coconut chocolate macaron, which we actually call a macaroon macaron to confuse people. And that we just use a really nice thick coconut cream in place of the regular cream for the ganache. So very healthy macaron as well. And then we also have a raspberry dark chocolate mini cake that we do. And we just use a straight dark chocolate ganache, and we keep out the cream. And it's beautiful.
Sounds amazing. I'm getting hungry. And you also are great supporters of a lot of local ingredients. What are some of the most common local ingredients that you guys use when you're baking in the kitchen?
We try to use honey as much as we possibly can. And we get our honey, we sponsor a local beehive, Maple Greenview Honey. And it's a local beekeeper, and she goes out and tends to the bees that are just outside Calgary, and we get these big deliveries of honey, and it's delicious.
Great.
Local eggs as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, eggs coming from a local organic farm.
So it's really nice to see that component as well of supporting the local economy and getting that local food. It helps just to, I feel, make it that next step of healthy as well, because it's fresh, you know what you're getting. So it does help. A lot of people are looking to support those local food producers that are using those ingredients. So I love that.
Good.
And not only do you have baked goods, because you guys do cakes as well.
We do macaron cakes,
That sounds delicious. Tell me a bit about that.
You basically take a macaron, a small macaron, and you make it big. Most of the flavors that we do have, you can turn them into a macaron cake. So we can do the dairy-free, absolutely. We can add in fresh fruit. Actually, later on,
yes.
we're going to be making some fresh fruit macarons. And yeah, they're all gluten-free. Our kitchen is gluten-free, so there's no risk of cross-contamination.
Great.
And the odd time, if we ever do use an ingredient that does have gluten in it, we reduce the risk of contamination as much as possible. Everyone's versed in, sanitization and using tools or certain kitchen utensils for that macaron, and then everything is labeled.
Great.
So if you come in, if it has gluten, it is labeled.
That is good. So safe for the celiacs. They can come in and enjoy a treat as well. That's perfect.
Of course.
So not only do you guys do the baked goods, you also do your own organic, handmade loose leaf teas.
We do.
Tell me about these.
Yeah, so when we were coming up with the concept for Ollia, we wanted something that went along with the macarons, a drink, something that you could play with. And the one aspect that we really liked about the macarons is that you have one product, but you have endless combinations. And we thought, what else can you do that with? Coffee? Yes, but there's some great coffee makers around town, and we didn't want to get into the coffee scene. So we thought tea. And I've been a big supporter of tea for a lot of years, and I just thought it'd be so neat to do something that is all natural, organic, whole ingredients that you can pronounce in your tea. And the same with the macarons, where you can make all these different flavors. You can do the same thing with tea. You can take a tea base and add in some fruit or add in some spices, and all of a sudden you have this whole new tea.
Yes. And so if I were to have a tea party and I wanted to pair some of the macarons with your tea, what would be some of the best options, or like sweet and savory with tea?
Well, if you wanted to go for a classic tea party tea, I recommend our Black Rose. It's a lovely blend of 3 organic black teas with organic rose petals.
Oh wow.
Really beautiful, really subtle rose flavor, but it's there. And it just complements all the sweets and savories so well. If you wanted to do something a little different that works really well with our savory macaron, is I recommend jasmine tea. Jasmine, the floralness matches really well with stronger flavors.
We need to have a tea party. That sounds amazing. And you mentioned you have savory as well. So talk a little bit about that, because I don't think a lot of people probably would ever envision a baked good being savory when it comes to macarons.
Yeah, so just all the flavor comes from the filling. So just like you would pair maybe some blue cheese with a pear or blue cheese with an apple, so you can in a macaron and take that sweet, savory, salty side and pair it with something sweet. So chèvre apricot is one of our most popular. We have dried organic apricots and a nice chèvre goat cheese.
Sounds good.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, that one is really good. I've tried it. And the other thing too is not only are you guys, blending these teas, you're also serving specific kinds of teas, and you make your own in-house some cold teas as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we blend all of our own teas at Ollia, so they're all custom just by us. We turn them into iced teas. We turn them into syrups. So soon into the new year, we'll have our tea line cocktail syrups. Wow. So yeah, you can take a syrup, or you could do an Italian soda. You could take this tea syrup and put it into sparkling water and make a beautiful Italian soda, or in cocktails. So yeah, really, it's endless. Tea is just like macarons. It's endless actually in what you can do with it. You can cook with tea. You can marinate things in tea. You can grind tea up and sprinkle it on ingredients. It's just...
It is very versatile.
Yeah, and it's a new wave, and people are just discovering it. So I think that there's a lot of potential with tea.
Well, not only does it taste good in a lot of different things, it's so naturally medicinal. So it helps the digestive system, the hormones, energy, everything. So you're getting all these great health benefits as well, while you're enjoying all the great flavors of a natural tea.
Exactly.
And the other great thing about the products here is they're all aspartame free.
Yes.
No artificial flavors, which is great, because we see a lot of teas and they are heavily, saturated with artificial sweeteners, which can be a huge issue with health imbalances. So it is again nice to see that it's trusted and all natural.
Yeah, no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners.
Yes, that's what we love. All back to nature. So we are in the kitchen now, and I'm here with Sal, who's the head pastry chef at Ollia. What are we going to be doing here?
We're going to make 2 little pastry tarts.
Okay.
Instead of using a tart shell, we're going to use some macaron shells.
Yes.
That are gluten-free.
Okay.
We're going to make one with blueberry like that, and we're going to make like a closed cake with the raspberries.
Sounds good.
Okay? Perfect.
Okay.
Then you're going to follow me. We're going to make a spiral, but not close. We're going to leave some space in the edge.
Okay.
I make one circle like that. Okay, and then I'm going to close inside.
Okay.
Perfect. And then what we're gonna do, we can put this in the side.
Okay.
Don't worry for it. We're gonna put some raspberries around.
Okay.
Then we're gonna grab the raspberries and place them in one part inside and one part right in the edge.
Okay.
And we're gonna go all the way around like that. Try to keep them a little bit closer.
Love the raspberries. So these are the little macaron cakes that you guys make here.
Our little individual.
I love this. It's
fruit.
so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You don't even want to eat it. It looks so beautiful.
Well, it's definitely like a little piece of art.
It is. It is. It's really great to see all that you guys do to put into this to make your masterpiece.
Well, definitely we try to put a lot of love
Yes.
and attention to the detail, and for sure the flavor. The flavor is the most important part, no? Because
Yes.
if at the end you try something and the flavor is not good, it doesn't matter how pretty
Exactly.
it looks. Then we're gonna put a little bit more here in the top just
Okay.
to close it and to glue it with the other one, like this. And then we are gonna grab this one that we already prepared in advance.
Oh,
We put
beautiful.
it there, and voila!
That
This
easy.
is our little raspberry vanilla cake.
I love it. Delicious.
We're planning to maybe add some lemon flavors, and we're still playing because it's the beginning of the summer, but we're going to try to
Fantastic.
make it more interesting. And this,
this is
other
the
one,
blueberry.
This is a blueberry. Then we're going to put a little bit more pastry cream to make like a little bit of a tower. And if you want to help me,
Okay.
we're going to start placing them all around first.
It's a big one.
That's okay.
So what kind of inspires, some of these flavors and these, I mean this little masterpiece, this little macaron cake, what
Well,
inspires these kinds of things for you?
I think number one, to make people happy. To know that
Yes.
somebody come and buy something and went home and everybody was excited and have a good moment with it, definitely. We definitely try to work with seasons. Then right
Right.
now that finally with the fruits
Berry
came,
season,
I
yes,
know.
it's exciting.
The winter is so long in here that it doesn't
Yes.
happen right away.
And fruit season is so short here, so it is nice to be able to showcase.
Absolutely. And then we also try to use like local ingredients.
Yes.
Then we have this vanilla that is made in Pemberton, BC.
Yes.
Then my boss find the organic producer of vanilla
Right.
in Costa Rica.
And that
because
is gluten-free as well.
definitely
made from
it's gluten-free.
potatoes.
And instead of buying it from a big producer, we buy it from someone smaller than them. We
Yes.
put it a little bit like that. We close it, and then we're gonna just zest a little bit of lemon. And voila! So
Amazing.
a little touch to
Get
start
all
the
your
summer.
fruit. Yes,
That's
get
right.
your fruit.
And then as more fruits come, maybe we'll make something with cherry when the cherry season
perfect.
will came and try to
Awesome.
see what BC is making for us.
Yes. So we had a blast here today at Ollia Macarons and Tea, so thank you so much to Lindsay and to Sal in the back for helping us make some delicious macaroons. We'll see you next time on Fresh Health.